Date a guy that makes you feel like every dinner that you guys go out for is like the estate general. You don't know what that means? Emily, please educate the masses.
The Estate General was the first meeting since 1614 of the French. The Estate General. It is a general assembly representing the French estates of the realm, the clergy, first estate, the nobles, second estate, and the common people, third estate.
Why was it important? Because it was the first of its kind in...
like 100 years-ish.
Remember, girls, every dinner.
Introducing this year's annual informal spelling bee, the finals! We have chosen 2 people from the School of St. Petersburg and the School of the Third Estate to compete for the Spelling Bee Cup. Seems like their position of power is a vast difference. Let's see the intros to this year's competing schools. The School of St. Petersburg, the capital, is deemed by Tsar Peter the Great of Russia.
St. Petersburg was the empire built by Peter I of Russia. This Tsar did everything in his power to westernize Russia so that he could compete with the powers of Europe. He made great military reforms in order to regain the Baltic seaports that had been lost to the Swedes. By creating a standing army full of branded conscripts and well-educated officers, all of whom were judged and promoted on personal merit, he was finally able to fulfill his plans on 1709 when he won the Battle of Poltavia. This absolute ruler was challenged by the Russian Orthodox Church, which he secularized, and the old military service class who did not like his reforms and attempted a coup.
Filled with glorious Western-style buildings, home of the most prestigious families, let's listen to their school anthem.
1703, 1703, Peter the Great, we worship thee. Peter the Great, Peter the Great, your strength means much to me. You fought your sister and brother, you fought battles bigger than ever. Westernized Russia you did, you were amazing amid.
And look at that! Amazing! The School of St. Petersburg, the one we believe will most likely be the winner of tonight's spelling bee. Next, we have the School of the Third Estate. Let's see their lowly commoners act.
Third Estate, despite what they say, not full of hate. We are the majority, beware of your inhibitions, for we are not just poor, we will begin a revolution.
Boo!
Alright, now that was exactly what I thought the cheer would be like. Much like French government's financial strategy of deficit financing. The government spent way more money than they could receive as revenue from taxation. Personally, I think we should all blame it on the Third Estate. If only the Third Estate was able to pay its taxes, then France's economy wouldn't be so unstable and chaotic.
Boo!
Just my personal opinion. I guess you could also argue that the aristocrats should have paid more taxes. But oh well, without further ado, this year's theme is European history. First up, we have Emily from the School of the Third Estate.
Yay!
Oh,
Boo!
boo.
Please spell your first word, Napoleon.
And can I please get the definition?
Napoleon Bonaparte, General, Emperor of France. He seized power in a couple of attacks in 1799. He led the French armies in conquering much of Europe, placing his relatives in positions of power.
The Duke of Wellington, along with Prussian forces, defeated Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo and marked the end of the 100 Days, which was the time between Napoleon's return from exile to the second restoration of King Louis XVIII. Napoleon was exiled to the island of St. Helena.
Now please spell Napoleon.
Napoleon. Napoleon.
Oh, wonderful! Correct!
Next up, we have Johnny Boyd from the School of St. Petersburg. Your word is laissez-faire.
Can you give me a definition?
Laissez-faire is an economic environment in which transactions between private parties are free from government restrictions, tariffs, and subsidies, with only enough regulations to protect property rights.
Let me spell. Okay.
Oh, that is correct.
The competition is surprisingly tight. Who would have thought the lowly School of the Third Estate would not have given up yet? John, please come up to the stand.
Yeah,
say.
Please spell out Bastille.
Can I get a definition?
Well, when Louis XVI enraged the people by fortifying the troops at his arsenals in Paris and threatened to eliminate the National Assembly, the sans-culottes, or the Third Estate, stormed the Bastille, a state prison, to arm themselves. The fall of the Bastille was a victory for the Third Estate because it symbolized the end to despotism. As expected, John is so cool and a total heartthrob.
There we go.
Word is, wow, Habsburg Emperor Leopold I.
Habsburg Leo.
This is unprecedented. Never has there been a four-word question in the annual official informal spelling bee. The head of Habsburg, elected in 1657, and in return keeping two promises, give no help to his cousins, the rulers of Spain, and the empire would be a state of princes in which each ruler would be free from imperial interference. Unfortunately, that is not correct. And we have a winner, John from the House of St. Petersburg.
Nicole from the School of Junkers. Where are you, my lover?
I'm ashamed to see you. I don't want to date you anymore. I'm from the School of Junkers, and we're all Prussian aristocrats who own a lot of land. Therefore, I cannot date a loser from the Third Estate.
What the heck, you suck though. You only joined the government so you can get control over your serfs, and that's a horrendous act. So what are you trying to say here? What type of person does that make you?
I joined the military because I love my country. What did you say to me, you sissy?
You suck!
New lover, new day! Ah!
John, my lover from the House of Petersburg, has passed away.
Emily, I know you're mad at me, but I just really wanted to tell you my love before the levee en masse.
Mass was the French conscription of 1793. But you wouldn't get conscripted anyway because you're a woman.
The Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen was the basis for the French Revolution, and it was approved by the National Assembly in 1789. French people worked hard during the Revolution. How dare you look down upon them just because 200 years have passed? I don't want to listen to this. You are my true love. Please marry me. Look, I even wore my sans-culottes for you.
I won't. Sans-culottes aren't even clothes or culottes, you idiot. Sans-culottes are the lower class revolutionaries during the French Revolution. If you're so into history and your stupid spelling bees, maybe you should go spell guillotine and put yourself under it. Haha.
G-U-I. Oh, only 4 pounds? You lift like a Louis XVI, aka weak. You know he surrendered to the people after only a little bit of pressure because he's weak and he almost sold France.
His wife Marie Antoinette was beautiful though, but the people hated her because she was too extravagant. She was the Queen of France from 1755 to 1793. This royal couple opposed reform and were guillotined in 1793 by the revolutionaries.
No, man, life is tough. If I don't lift, my girlfriend's gonna send me to the guillotine. You know, the killing device made up to get rid of enemies during the French Revolution.
Fredericks, so many great rulers. Fredericks, so many named the same. Fredericks, you won't be disappointed, because Fredericks truly earned their fame. Frederick I ruled from 1688. That doesn't really matter though, because what he earned was a name. Supported Leopold I, he was part of the War of Spanish Succession. Given the title King of Prussia, he passed to his son, people named Prussians. The son named Frederick William ruled from 1713, cared truly about Prussia's income, leading to a higher income increase. Although he was a true militarist, he sought to avoid war. The Prussian army power was a symbol of strength, nothing more. Then came Frederick II, the Great he was called, for he invaded Austria in 1740 and took a third of Poland from all. Frederick the Great also did much more. He helped develop a good economy, creating bureaus of industry and commerce, not to forget mines and forestry. Fredericks, there were many more to come. Fredericks, maybe they weren't all the great, but there undoubtedly were some.